Both of these players obviously now very keen to get through. They've both had good runs to get to this point. These two will both feel that they would be a deserved finalist because they've had a decent chance and they've played some pool. Looked like Karl almost hit the balls with his cue there, but just got it out the way in time.
This is incredibly close. Yeah, you can't quite tell there. It looked like it was still in play. I actually wasn't sure if he had or he hadn't, but he's absolutely fine. Yeah, people talk about different things when it comes to the game, and obviously this is a tournament that's just perfectly designed for the spectator, for the viewer, and people talk, certainly players talk about value in the game. How much value do you need? Josh Kane has not played a shot yet, and he's guaranteed $2.5 grand, and he could win 6. Well, that's pretty good.
What a weekend. I mean, he's also not... He's a well-known player, and obviously he's seen as a really top player, but I mean, it's not like it's Tom Cousins. It's not like people have been avoiding him just because they're scared. It's just the draw's just worked out so well for him.
It's been quite incredible the way it's all panned out for him, because we've been saying for quite a while that he's been a likely pick for most of the sort of late morning session or afternoon session and into this evening session because of where he is. He's been the lowest ranked player for quite a long time in the tournament.
I think there's going to be a degree of pressure on him because although he's guaranteed the second place prize money, I mean, it's a good weekend either way. In a way, he's going to feel a bit silly if he doesn't put up a performance in the final. So I guess he's going to want to go out there and do well. And what a great chance. I mean, he's yet to win an Ultimate Pool title, as has Neil Raybone. Karl Sutton has got one Pro Series title and a Pairs Cup title, but he'd love to add another one. So for all of these players, it would be quite a big moment to lift that silverware.
It could be a big moment for Neil or Josh to get that sort of... Not that I feel like it's a monkey on their back. I think both players we'd expect to win at some point. They're that level. But it'd be nice just to kind of break the duck, get going, and then kind of... Who knows what, in... What's it now? 4 or 5 weeks' time, we've got the Pro Series coming up and World Championship beyond that. Josh, of course, made it through to the final in Morocco a year ago. Came up just short against Clayton Castaldi. He'll be back for another tilt at the title.
Yeah, I mean, it shows the standard, doesn't it? We're talking about him being the lowest ranked player and expressing surprise, but I mean, he was a World Championship finalist.
Yeah.
Not a great surprise. No one was keen to play him.
Well, Karl in a great position here to start well, but he does need a good positional shot to deal with the yellow down the table. Good positional shot to get onto it. I actually thought he was going to leave it last. I suppose he took the view that he was good on that angle to go and to get down for it now. Problem is, it's compromised his position on the one up the table, but he's always going to get a shot at one up the table.
Yeah, it would have been a much easier positional shot to play at last. It's got a more difficult pot here. Don't think he's necessarily going to be able to get very close to the 8 ball. Just needs to try and get a clean pot on the last yellow. Just make sure he leaves a shot at it. Looks like he's digging in to screw off the right-hand side cushion. Oh, he's actually played that really well if this pulls up. Neither side to pull up or roll on.
He's not on it. He ripped that so good. I mean, I can't believe how well he got through the ball there. That was instant.
Yeah, I didn't think it was possible to screw that far down the table. He's cued it so well. That's very unlucky. Just a turn more or a turn less, and he's plumb on the 8 ball.
Didn't think it was possible to snooker yourself there either. The margin of error there to finish not on it is tiny.
Well, he did everything right in that frame, bar that very last positional shot, which, to be fair to him, he'd actually played pretty well. It's very unfortunate. So, Neil Raybone, this is rather handy. Thought he was out of this frame. Not an easy starter, but if he can just get this ball in, he's going to be in quite nice shape. A couple of balls near the side cushions to negotiate. The left side cushion, probably the most difficult pot on the table. I don't love this as a starter. I think he's just got to commit to taking this ball long. Lovely starter. He's back up and running.
quite a nice gap he's had, isn't it? He's done a really well. A few matches through, a couple of matches off, and he's back out there again. It was kind of the, obviously if he waits one more, it's ideal. But in terms of just staying in rhythm, it's almost quite a normal tournament sort of feel.
Yeah, I think Neil's actually in many ways had the most normal tournament. It started later than a lot of people's, but then since then, won a few matches, had a break. Either of these two would be a worthy finalist. They've both played a significant part in the event.
Are you implying that Josh, who hasn't yet to play a shot?
No, I meant more between the two of them, but no. Obviously, that's the nature of this. It's almost made better entertainment value, and no one would begrudge it to Josh. He's earned his right by being a good player that no one wanted to play.
I'm still working on the can you win the tournament without potting a ball kind of scenario. Can you get the golden break or win it in a 6-red with a 0-0 draw?
I mean, you can. That,
can.
That really would be a headline story.
Oh, yeah.
Make a case of playing these balls either way round. Deciding to come down the table first.
Cued it beautifully.
Slightly preferred playing the other way around because it sort of felt like you were going to have to play that difficult shot down the left rail to the bottom left either way, whereas now he's left himself a second missable, not likely to miss, but a shot that isn't 100% guaranteed.
I think it's just enough angle to make it kind of natural. He doesn't have to force it. No, he did have to force it, but it was one that you can punch in. It's a fairly comfortable sort of shot. I agree with you. Certainly wasn't a guarantee. 8-ball to take this opening frame. And a 7-minute opening frame at that as well, which is something just to keep an eye on. It was a fairly, even though it wasn't like a drawn out frame, both players have used their sort of 30 seconds quite a lot during that opener. Well, flushed break, he's made a ball. And the layout is okay. Little bit of work on a couple of sides of the table. It's not absolutely perfect, but it's very doable.
Perfect view of the break there. All the balls exploding away from the 8-ball, which has stayed parked absolutely on its spot. Didn't move at all. So just a slight glitch here with the timing out in the arena. Looks like the match clock is just accidentally reset. We'll just get that back to the correct number. Play is just going to stop while that happens. Karl's already spent a fair bit of time out in the arena. There was that delay getting the 6-red racked up, so he's been sat in that chair a fair bit lately.
Maybe it gives Josh Kane a little bit more time to warm up. He knows he's playing in the next match. For the first time that's happened to him all weekend long as well. He probably just needs to get himself into sort of match mode all of a sudden. Go and find his cue. He may have lost it. Yeah,
I wonder if he's going to go to the practice table or whether he's going to sit and watch this match.
It's been a strange tournament though, hasn't it? It's been so much fun. We've watched players, doing bizarre things. We've seen players hiding to try and not get drawn out. We've seen players just not ready to play, turning up in shorts and t-shirts, all sorts of strange things. You've got to be ready to go all the way through. It's been so much fun to watch the players go through the ringer this weekend.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's a perfect spectacle. See the different personality of all the players. Very difficult thing to prepare yourself for when you just don't know when you're going to be on. That randomness is what's making it so entertaining. Timing issues now resolved, so Neil can resume this clearance attempt. As so often in this format, the second frame very important. Very useful to take a 2-0 lead. Switched a bit straight on this ball down the right cushion. Not really going to be able to get far away from the rail.
And he wants to get past the straight. Yeah, pointing his cue by that centre pocket, that's where he wants to get to. If he just pulls it back almost level with the reds, then he's going to have the off angle on the yellow up the table to get across to ones on the left-hand side. So it's not ideal at all. Yeah, and the more you have to force it, the smaller that pocket becomes.
Yeah, he was trying to force an angle away from the cushion. You can see he shouldn't have been able to get the white to where it is now. The white would have ended up much nearer the cushion if he'd have potted it. Tried to borrow a bit too much of the pocket.
Good shot from Karl. Very good loss of turn because he's got the perfect cue ball to go with it. Delicate one as well.
Time for the table and appreciation from Neil. Seen some good tactical shots from Karl already. It's one of those ones where just that one shot can really turn a frame around. Good hit, but always likely to leave some kind of shot at a red. The ball that looks like it might be a challenge is the red next to the yellow near the bottom left. Whether he can just squeeze it in or into half a pocket, or whether he's going to have to nudge into it or play it to the other pocket. One frame completed, but over half the match time gone now.
Yeah, you've got two players that just like to use the 30 seconds more often than not, and I talk about this quite a lot, and I'm not saying either player's doing anything wrong, but players that do this more often than not end up in a lot shorter matches, and therefore can end up in more 6-red shootouts and feel like they're not quite getting as fair a crack of the whip.
Well, that cannon went all wrong. Just trying to force into the red. It obviously didn't put past the yellow. Knocked it safe. May just have an angle. I don't know if he can just get into this enough, or maybe just got too much angle. Ball to the bottom right to try and get it out. Don't think there's space to double it.
I think that's the most disgusted I've seen Karl Sutton after playing a shot. Doesn't show too much out there, but visibly disgusted with the shot he's just played.
Well, it's a very bad outcome from where he was. You could maybe see him not knock it into a perfect place, but to have knocked it safer than it was. Very careless. Now he's running out of time. Has he got space to make the double? Yeah, it always looked like it was going to have to go narrow in order to miss the yellow. Hasn't left an easy starter. If Neil can just navigate the first shot, though. Well, you can see Karl's reaction. It's an important frame as well, and he knows that. Exactly what you say, because they've shortened the match because of the slowish play. It means that we're very unlikely to play all 7 frames.
Current pace, I feel like the next frame could be the last. Oh no, Neil.
What a fluke that was.
Well, that's not going to help Karl Sutton's mood. Far from it. Hasn't left a particularly nice shot though. He missed that and left him horrible here. But at least he has the next shot. I mean, essentially it's frame over if he doesn't get the fluke.
Yeah, if you look at where the white is, Karl would have been in an ideal position. He's got to play another shot though. Just couldn't get close to the ball up the table, so had to sacrifice proximity to it for getting the right line. At least he's got a kind of natural angle on it. He's just going to play it from more distance than he'd ideally have wanted. It's the kind of shot where you can get the cue ball a bit stuck to the top cushion. Just needs to try and get it clear down the table.
That's not Oh, he's okay. I thought he was going to knock it straight down the table. Second bit of a fortune for Neil in this visit.
Yeah, he's had a couple of touches in this frame, hasn't he? If he gets out from here, Karl's going to be disgusted. Oh, and that was tight as well. That was a good shot. Had to just miss the red.
And the way he's got there. Good break, though, and a brilliant chance. This is really good. If you are going to be as frustrated as he is, you want a chance like this. Sometimes you can get frustrated and start seeing the negative in layouts. You know, yeah, there's a problem here, there's a problem there. There is no problems.
And if he gets this clearance fairly quickly, as he's likely to, actually, suddenly the match is sort of back on track from his point of view. 2-1 down, still going to be a few minutes to play. Every chance to get back into it.
Cue ball. It's just going to go wide. It's not a very good cue ball anyway. He is still on a yellow. It's not ideal, but he's on one.
Yeah, just came a bit too far down the table on the previous shot, then left that one with too much angle. It's all right, he's just having to travel around a bit more than he wants to. No choice now but to go for the one over the middle. Just going to try and play a slightly tighter position this time. Well, that's not bad. It's not perfect, but he can retrieve it from here.
8-ball play's huge, though, doesn't it? Do you drop it in and try and hold? Do you try and go past the 8-ball? Past the 8-ball it is, but don't go too far behind the red, which is what he's done. Oh,
he looks angry now. Look how quickly he's getting down to play this shot.
Oh, fabulous. Brilliant shot from Karl Sutton. Angry swerve, but in it goes. Moment of magic when he absolutely needed it. But then misses the 8-ball. I think that is how he feels about it. Watch this swerve, though. Kind of takes the edge and shine off it, really. Brilliant shot, but missing the 8-ball essentially kind of makes it null and void.
This could be the beginning of the end for Karl. Got out of position, got back into position, and then once he missed the 8-ball, this was always going to be tough. Oh, this is wild now. Nowhere near with that swerve.
He wants out there. This is the angriest I've ever seen Karl Sutton. It really is.
There's no obvious reason either. I mean, I know Neil had that fluke, but it seemed like he was angry even before then. He was annoyed with himself.
Yeah, definitely annoyed with himself. This isn't because of the fluke. I mean, he's a player that's always been kind of quite down on his, himself. He sort of seems to see the negative beforehand. But I've been saying for a while on the table, he's been very positive. He's been playing great. I think he knows his best game is his tournament-winning game, as it has been many times before. But he's raging out there.
Such a contrast, isn't it? Like, Neil just seems to be playing the match in a good-humoured way. I mean, obviously it's much easier to do that when you're 2-0 and about to be 3-0 up, but it certainly looks like he's enjoying his evening a lot more. I mean, really, given the way Karl's weekend's gone, there's a lot of positives to take. There's only 3 players remaining at the tournament. There were 32 at the beginning. If Neil does complete this clearance and get it to 3-0, there's only going to be about 2 minutes, probably not even that, remaining on the match clock. Very hard to see a way back. Just going to play one more shot. It's not completely natural position, but should be able to guide the white. Pretty big margin for error here. Driving round off 3 cushions for simple 8-ball to the middle. And as the clock ticks past the 1:50 mark, Neil Raybone gets his 3rd frame on the board. Well, especially since Neil's break, anything other than a golden duck. It's very hard to see a way back for Karl. Don't even know, is he going to yeah, he's going to play, but really it's pretty academic at this point. I mean, I suppose if he gets a quick clearance, things could still happen. 100% needs a golden break there in the next frame, even if he does clear these up.
Yeah, he needs to leave, what does he need to leave? 45. Golden break leaves 30, and then have... I mean, you've got to keep trying though, haven't you?
This has been a good clearance, to be fair, if he completes it. It's the best clearance so far of the match.
It's going to be a quick one.
Oh, of the tournament, probably.
Oh, very good, Karl Sutton. Very good indeed.
Eight ball's moving.
Oh, it was moving. Got a little extra nudge as well. I guess your quick clearance and hope for the golden duck.
Well, fair play to Karl. He's actually giving us some moments of entertainment towards the end of this match. Could come out with another quick clearance here. Can he double this ball? He's got time still. Ooh, how close was that?
And that is going to be end of the match. Karl Sutton bows out in third place. Neil Razor Raybone is into the final.